This is my student accommodation. It was originally a plumbing van, but now it is my home. But it's important to me to have as many clothes as I physically can. My logic being, the more clothes you have, the less often you have to do laundry. The uni themselves, I haven't told them really, but I don't think they have a problem with it. I mean, they don't know, so they can't.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with Ed, who swapped student accommodation to live in a van.
Make sure you stick around for the full tour to see exactly how he's got it set up. And we hope that you enjoy the video. If you like it, let us know in the comments what you think, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Back to it.
Hello, my name is Ed. I'm 22 years old. I'm in my fourth and final year of university, and this is my student accommodation. I mainly decided to do this because I did a placement year last year, which meant that all of the friends I made in my first 2 years of uni had left by the time I'd come back to do my fourth. It meant that if I wanted to try and find a house to live in, I'd have to live with people I didn't know. The thought of doing that was more scary, to be honest, than doing this. So that's why I've done this, basically. We're at uni at the moment, and I tend not to park here in the week because it's quite expensive. I basically rent a parking spot. That is a 15-minute walk from campus, and then I walk through the woods every day to come to uni, and that's like £60 a month for that parking spot. So yeah, I basically park there in the day when I have lectures or whatever. I walk to uni, and then just walk back at night. It's actually closer than my house was in second year. But yeah, sometimes I will stay here on the weekends. It's £1 for the whole weekend, so I can stay here. And then I have obviously uni, so I've got toilets, I've got a really good internet connection. So yeah, it does work. But most of the time I'm not at uni, I'm kind of around uni. There's a few different parking spots that I go around during the week. I kind of just rotate basically through 4 or 5 different locations, and yeah, never had a problem so far, but we'll see. You never know. I've had a few mixed reactions to telling people I live in a van. Most of them are always positive. They're always like, that's really cool. Why and how and what are you doing? I had one girl who was like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I don't know what that means, but yeah, I won't take offense to it. The uni themselves, I haven't told them really, but I don't think they have a problem with it. I mean, they don't know, so they can't. Okay, yeah, this is my student accommodation. It's a 2009 Ford Transit. It's very blue. It's a long wheelbase and a super high top. It was originally a plumbing van, but now it is my home.
Are you happy to share how much you paid for it?
So I'll say it was roughly the same as 1 year of rent. The insurance is one of the bad things for me, because it's like, because I'm 22, I've got like 3 years no claims, so the insurance is quite a lot of money. Overall, it's still cheaper than renting a house, and I get to sell it at the end, so yeah. I've tried to keep it as kind of stealthy as I can. I mean, it does just look like a kind of like a work van. It's like 5.7 meters long, which is quite long. And the only vehicle I've ever driven before this was a Toyota Aygo. So it's a bit of getting used to. So I've got a few gadgets and gizmos. I've got reversing camera, which is essential for a longer vehicle like this. I've got a big screen for my sat nav. I've got a dash cam. I've got another camera, so this is a blink camera. So it just means I can check in on the van at any time, which is always useful. I also keep an old phone in the front here as well. That just has a hotspot on it, so I can have Wi-Fi basically in the van, and that also runs the cameras so that I can view them from anywhere. I've got a little fella here. I've got the window vac, which is an essential for van life, as most people probably know. So I've got these big windows on the side here. I've got curtains inside, so it blacks it out and you can't see in. To be honest, most of the time the curtains are closed, but it is good to get a bit of light in here. But otherwise, on the side of the van, there's nothing on it basically. I've tried to keep it as stealthy as I can so that no one knows I'm here. If you knew what you were looking for, you'd know it was a camper van, but most people don't. So there's 330 watts of solar on the roof. I mainly rely off of the DC to DC charger, especially in winter. The solar panels kind of do nothing. Today they might do a little bit because it's quite sunny. So this is my garage area.
Alright guys, these videos wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors. And today, that's Proton VPN.
If you don't already know, a VPN or a virtual private network encrypts your internet connection, keeping your data secure and stops people spying on what you're doing online.
Proton VPN is one of the best out there, and for us it's essential because without it, websites and advertisers can track what we do online. But with Proton VPN, our browsing stays private. Nobody can see what sites we visit or build a profile on us for selling targeted ads.
Exactly. It keeps your online activity truly private, stopping companies from collecting your data and following you around with creepy targeted ads. Just private, secure browsing.
For me, it's all about streaming. With Proton VPN, I can change my location and watch sports and shows from anywhere in the world. With servers in over 110 countries, browsing UK Netflix when abroad is no problem.
So if you want to stay safe online, stop companies from collecting your data and access content from anywhere, then Proton VPN has got you covered. So check out the link in the description to try Proton VPN today. And with that, thanks to Proton VPN for sponsoring this video. Back to it.
So this is my garage area. This is where all of my electrics live. I've got 300 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries. I've got 3 ways of charging them. I can either plug into a main socket and I can charge them that way. I've got this 330 watts of solar on the roof, and it also charges when I drive along. So I get 30 amps going into the batteries when I drive, which is the main way I get power, especially during winter. There's plenty of power. It's enough to run a toaster for like 4 hours, which is, I'd never need to do that really. So don't tend to eat that much toast. I have a computer in here as well. I have an air fryer, so it's plenty. So I've just got some more tools in there, recovery bits. I've got my 13 amp socket to plug in if I want to go to a campsite. I've got a 10-litre diesel tank for the diesel heater, which keeps me nice and toasty. Otherwise, it's pretty clear back here. I like to keep it as clear as possible so I can just have a bit more flexibility and put stuff in if I need to. So there's actually quite a lot of space. I've got an axe for cutting up wood, more water storage, and then I've got my gas bottle in here. So that's just for the gas hob. I've got a 2-burner gas hob, and I've only changed that once, and I've had the van for like 10 months now. So I've got a 54-litre water tank. That keeps me going, if I'm sparing, maybe 2 weeks, but I constantly fill up whenever I possibly can, whether that be at a campsite or here at uni, or just anywhere there's a tap, which is actually quite hard to find. When I bought the van, it was a camper van, so the bed was already here, all of the cladding, insulation, all of that stuff was done, but all of the systems I've put in myself. So all of the electrics, the water, the diesel heater, all of those things I've done myself. I spent a good few months sorting the van out, getting it ready to actually live in, but it was already a camper when I bought it. So oh yeah, you can also see my step, which is good, which I have slightly damaged. I did that just over there actually. I reversed into a signpost, but that's good. That's my parking sensor. Here we have another blink camera, so that's on the back, and it means I can, obviously there's no windows on the back here, so if I need to look out the back, I can use the camera, which is quite a nice little security feature to have. But yeah, again, it's pretty stealthy. It just looks like a van, which is the idea really. Literally the only thing I have on this side is the little light you can see up there, so I can turn that on and then I can just have a bit of a security light if I need it. That's the only thing really. I don't really know why there aren't more people doing this. It seems to make a lot of sense to me, especially with the fact that rent is so expensive and I'm only at uni for like 24, 25 weeks of the year, and you have to rent a house for 12 months. So it seemed quite wasteful, or almost, to pay so much money for rent when I'm only at uni for half the time I'm renting for. I did a placement year in my 3rd year, which meant I could save up some money and actually be able to do this. The van cost basically what 1 year of rent would cost. But the difference is, at the end of it, I still have a van that I can sell, and it's probably worth more than what I actually paid for it because I've done so much stuff to it. I understand that, you know, trying to get that money together could be a challenge, but if you can, you can save a lot of money overall. So yeah, I can sell this at the end of it if I wanted to, and recoup basically everything that I spent. So it's basically free accommodation in a way. Not really, but kind of. I think my favourite thing is just the fact I get to live on my own. Yeah, having lived with some absolute menaces in 1st and 2nd year, I really wanted to live on my own. This basically allows me to do that. So I can live on my own. I can cook food whenever I want, which is something I wasn't able to do in 1st and 2nd year. There'd always be someone in the kitchen. Yeah, it just gives me a lot more autonomy, and I can do what I want when I want, which is yeah, something you're not always able to do when you share housing. So that's probably my favourite thing. Least favourite thing, I don't know. I think it's unfair to say anything's the least favourite because I don't think anything is really that bad. Two things potentially. One is water. Just trying to find water is a bit annoying, to be honest. But in a way it's good. It makes you value the water and you know, that goes for kind of everything. It makes you value things more than you would otherwise. Otherwise, another bad thing is just the risk that it involves, I suppose. If the van was to have something go terminally wrong with it, I would be kind of screwed. So far, so good, kind of. But yeah, that's probably the worst bit. So at the front here, up here, I just keep dry food. It's kind of a little bit of a pantry. Here is cooking equipment. Keep my bag up here, and I just have hooks as well. Coats and things get chucked up here. I've got some chopping boards here, and then this one is just towels, extra bedding, stuff like that. Got this little line here, which I use to dry my towel on after I've been to the gym and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's all very practical. This space is actually, it goes back a bit further. So there's also just stuff chucked behind there. I've chucked all the contraband. I didn't want you guys to see back there. So that's where that is. I have these little lights all around the van. So they're just USB-C powered, and they're good because I also have these lights, these super bright lights, but they're not dimmable, and at night time they're not very nice. They're not very cozy. Down here, there's just more storage. I keep hats and gloves and stuff like that in here. These are normally behind the curtains, so I also have curtains here which go across, and they just black out the whole front of the cab and give me some privacy as well. Got another little storage thing over here. I don't even know what's in there. What is in there? Bungee cords. That's what's in there. You always need bungee cords living in a van. Then over here, I've got my bench seat. So this is mainly just storage, to be honest. I keep all my trousers down there and camera gear and stuff like that. Just random stuff I just chuck in there. This is my little table that I made, and I can swing it around and move it wherever it needs to go. Often I'll set my laptop up here and I can sit there and do my work. So I've got a desk in here, which is quite handy. I also have my diesel heater down here, which is essential. You need that, otherwise it's not very warm. I often keep bottles of water and stuff down here. I just buy water to drink. It's the easiest and safest way of doing it. Here we have a painting that my girlfriend did. She insists it's not finished yet, but I think it looks pretty great. One day it might have a final form, but I really like it. I think it adds something to the van, which is quite nice. I have a plug socket over here as well, so I can plug my laptop in over here and do some work. Little shelf up here just for knickknacks and stuff. This fan is the bane of my existence. It's broken. It makes this noise, which isn't great. So this is currently out of action. I need to get a new one, but that's a big job and I really can't be bothered. So here I have I call it the flap. It's just a bit of oak, and it is on 2 locking hinges, and this is my worktop basically. Without this, before, if I was cooking, I've got 2 pans on or whatever and the sink. This is my worktop, which isn't, you know, I don't think Gordon Ramsay would be very happy with that. So I had to get a bigger worktop, so this works great. Yeah, 2-burner gas hob, so I can cook stuff. Sink, I wish I had a slightly bigger sink, but I don't, so I'll get over it. Little soap dispenser, some little shelves up here. Kitchen roll holder thing, which is always handy. And then I've got these cupboards as well. Down here I have just my spice rack and stuff that you can see basically. This is like a kitchen cupboard. It's just kitcheny stuff, cleaning stuff. I have an air fryer down there somewhere. I have a slow cooker. I have a toaster. I have a kettle. Here's my wastewater. It's quite a small wastewater tank. I have a thermos flask as well, which just means I can have a cup of tea without having to turn the gas on again.
Can you eat better than most students in here?
I'd say so, yeah. I can make basically everything. And the big advantage to having a kitchen like this in a van is that I can use it whenever I want, and I can clean it and no one else will ruin it. So that's kind of the big perk that I have. Got a 12-volt fridge down here. It's actually pretty sizable. I don't know how big it is, but it's more room than I would have had at uni, where you've got a third of a fridge. So I have a big wardrobe. It's important to me to have as many clothes as I physically can. My logic being, the more clothes you have, the less often you have to do laundry. So I have a toilet behind my laundry basket. I don't know if you can see it, but if I need to use that in an emergency, which is all it's used for, I can pull it out and use it, but I do my best not to.
What do you typically do if you don't use that?
Well, most of the time I'm at uni, I'm at a supermarket, supermarket or I'm at the gym. So I can, you know, if you're a little bit strategic with it, you can make it work. It's not that difficult really. Showering, I'd shower at the gym as well. So my daily routine, I'll go to uni, and then after that I'll go to the gym and I shower there. It's pretty straightforward really. So yeah, that works. I haven't had anyone tell me that I smell yet. So I've also got shoes that live in there, so that's just shoe storage. So this is the bed area. This is where I am most of the time. It's a widthways bed, so I have to kind of sleep diagonally, which it works. It does work. It's a problem if there's two of us in here, but most of the time there isn't. I painted the walls green back here just to try and make it feel a little bit sort of like a separate area to the rest of the van. I've got a little bookshelf that I made up here. Got some more storage buckets on the side here, and I've got the best thing, I've got this little monitor which has a little Amazon Fire TV stick, so I can sit back in bed and I can watch whatever on TV. So this is where I am most of the time. This is where you'll find me, just sat here being a lazy guy. But yeah, that's basically everything back here. It's quite simple really. The one bad thing is the bed is a bit short, but otherwise I'm as comfortable as I would be in a home. I would think it's probably changed my perspective on things a little bit. I mean, it makes me value like tangible things like having a shower and a toilet and water and all of these things. It makes me value them way more. I feel very grateful for the life that I have, which is something more than I perhaps did. It's made me a bit more resilient. As a student, it's very easy just to coast and just stay in your room like 24/7, whereas this literally forces you not to do that, which is, yeah, good. I think could be good for a lot of people. I think I could see myself living this way for beyond being a student. It depends on where life takes me, to be honest. I have no idea what I'm doing next week, let alone in a year's time or 5. So I don't know, I wouldn't be against it. But the ideal for me is I still quite like living in a house. I go home and it's like, wow, I can actually like have a shower at any time, which is kind of amazing. Yeah, one day I'd like to, you know, have a family and stuff. How indicative this lifestyle is to doing that, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know is the answer. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching and seeing how I do things as a student living in this van. I hope it's given you a bit of insight into kind of how things work and if this lifestyle could maybe work for you. You can find me on YouTube. If you type in stranded_09, then you'll find me. I just make videos, just making mac and cheese in here and stuff. So if you want to follow that, then that'd be lovely. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Liveration for having me here. It's been a real pleasure, so thanks guys. Cheers.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in there, and a big thanks to Ed for sharing a story with us and showing us around.
Make sure to follow Ed on the socials. His Instagram and YouTube link will be down below. We actually found Ed on YouTube, so definitely check out his videos, they're worth a watch. And if you liked the video, let us know what you thought in the comments below. See you in the next one.